So remember how I said it's pretty much guaranteed that the PlayStation 5 is going to have backwards compatibility? Well, Sony just filed a patent. So like I said, the PlayStation 5 is pretty much guaranteed to have backwards compatibility. Let's get into it. Skip it up and that up. So a couple days ago, Sony filed a patent in Japan that is very obviously going to be backwards compatibility for the PlayStation 5. The title of the patent, and yes, I have to look at my screen because the title is that long, is Simulation of Legacy Bus Operation for Backward Compatibility. Now I'm going to read a quick little paragraph from the Gear Nuke article that's listed below in the description because I don't want to screw up any of the technicalities of it, and then we'll discuss. A bus, in technical terms, refers to the communication system between the different components inside electronic or computer devices. When reading in detail, the patent mentions Sony using the method to deal with bus interface-related issues when executing a legacy application on a new device, which is emulation. The method that Sony patented helps emulate the bus operation of the device the legacy application was designed for. Furthermore, the method can possibly adjust bus performance as well, which could result in enhanced remasters. So in layman's terms, Sony is putting together software that they can emulate their older systems, the PS4, which there's going to be virtually no emulation needed for PS4 games to run on the PS5. PS3 games, those are probably going to be tough, but with the Ryzen CPU cores or the Zen architecture inside the PS5, it shouldn't be a problem for them to emulate PS3 games, PS2 games, and obviously PlayStation 1 games. And Sony is taking a play out of Microsoft's book because they saw how shockingly, and it shocked me too, successful their backwards compatibility program was with the Xbox One, where they're going to have enhanced remasters. And honestly, I think that's really what made backwards compatibility successful on the Xbox One. I mean, it hasn't been with all games, but not only do they make 360 games and original Xbox games Xbox One backwards compatible, they're actually upgrading them. They're making them native 4K. Again, the original Red Dead Redemption looks gorgeous on an Xbox One X. Then now Half-Life 2, or the Orange Box, I believe, is in native 4K. Yes, it is. I played that. And Left 4 Dead 2 is in native 4K, and Left 4 Dead as well. It runs in native 4K, and it breathes new life into these games. Some of them look like almost current gen games. So Sony saw how well that was received by Microsoft's audience or their consumers, and they're like, yeah, we should probably kind of do the same thing, especially now that we're going to have the PS5's more powerful hardware, and we can make any game look good on it. So I'm telling you, you're going to see some PS3 games running in 4K, native 4K, and PS2 games running in native 4K because they saw that people liked it on the Xbox. And I did too, man. I'm telling you, Red Dead Redemption, the original one, running in native 4K on an Xbox One X blew me away. I could not believe how good that game looked. It almost looked like a current gen game. It's so funny because 2013 Review Tech USA, when the 7th generation was winding down, was a cocky prick when it came to backwards compatibility. I didn't care about it. I thought anyone who cared about it was being crazy, and I thought, oh, what's the big deal? If you have games from the previous generation console, then you have the previous generation console. Is it really taking up that much space? But now, 6 years later almost, I'm a much different person, and Flip Flop Tech USA, no, Rich, you're just succumbing to your audience. No, I'm not. I use backwards compatibility in the Xbox One X myself, and I realize how convenient it is. When they actually make the games look better, it's amazing, and it actually enhances the experience. And I realize not only is it a convenience factor, it actually makes the games more enjoyable, and that's awesome. So I went from being an anti-backwards compatibility guy to being a pro-backwards compatibility guy. And obviously I'm not the only one. Initially when Microsoft, I was still even that way a couple of years ago. When Microsoft first started, a few years ago now I should say, when Microsoft first started the backwards compatibility program for the Xbox, and I'm like, who's going to care about that? We're in the current generation. People just play the games on the 360. Man, did they prove me wrong and make me look like a jackass. More than I make myself look like a jackass. Almost on a daily basis. Exposed. So look, again, I'm not patting myself on the back. I screw up all the time. But I call that it's going to be fairly obvious that the PS5 is going to have backwards compatibility. It's guaranteed with the PS4 because they're running on the same exact architecture, just the PS5 is going to have more powerful hardware. But Sony is going to obviously go all out and have it run all of their games from all of their previous systems, which I think is a smart thing. Yes, this is a rumor and it could be wrong and they may not have backwards compatibility at all. I doubt it. But I think they will, and it's a smart thing. Now, when it comes to cloud gaming and their cloud infrastructure compared to Microsoft's, Sony might be in trouble. They may not be, and they're just holding their cards close to their chest, like I've said in probably 7,000 other videos talking about next-gen consoles, but I just don't think that they're at the same level as Microsoft, and the reason they're being so quiet is because they don't have that much to say about it, and that could be a problem. But when it comes to backwards compatibility with the PS5, I think they're going to have you covered. This is Rich of Review Tech USA signing out. Have a good one.
Hey, congratulations! If you made it to the end of the video, you should subscribe to Review Tech USA so you can hear me blabber on some more. Also, too, starting this month, I will be live streaming solely on Twitch. I'll have a link to my Twitch channel below in the description. And last but not least, make sure you click that like button. It helps out the show big time. See you guys in the next video.